Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back from Leipzig, Germany. We are live with the DreamHack Open in Rocket League. $50,000 on the line for the best Rocket League teams in the world. And what a wonderful city this is. If anyone has a chance to check out downtown Leipzig, it's pretty awesome. But there you see the trophy on the stage. And special thanks to our sponsors, Corsair, Astro, and Psyonix. Without them, this event would not be possible. And what a day we've had so far. I think we're 9 matches down, guys. I'm losing track, I'll be honest. We've had a lot of matches, a lot of best of threes, a lot of upsets, a lot of matches we're like, okay, that makes sense. But we just finished seeing Dignitas actually take out G2. That means G2 is going to be falling down to the lower bracket. They're going to play against Rogue. And that is actually going to be the last match of the day that we're going to see today, approximately 4 matches from now. So buckle your seatbelts. Get ready. We still got some awesome Rocket League headed your way, and the next 4 matches are all elimination matches. The winner will advance to tomorrow, and the loser of these next 4 matches will be out of the DreamHack Open.
So that also means that Gale Force Esports, they did beat the Juicy Kids 2-0. So my point about all these invited teams maybe underperforming hasn't come true, except for G2, who I predicted to win. So
you're mostly right.
So I'm batting about a 0% right now on these invited teams, but this is why we play the game. No one knows what's going to happen. But we still have plenty of Rocket League to go, and we still have 4 teams to go into day number 2. And that's all you need. Just make it a day 2. It doesn't mean you begin day 2 with 1 loss. You go back to even. You still have to lose 2 tomorrow. So it's still, you might have a tougher group, but you have the same equal chance as all the other teams that made it through in the uppers.
Yeah, and this is just day 1. We can't really emphasize that enough. I mean, we still have a lot of Rocket League in store for you this weekend, so make sure you stay tuned each and every day as we count down to crowning our champion and we give away $50,000 in that beautiful trophy on stage. But let's focus in on this next match we have upcoming right now. It's a match from the lower bracket to lower final. Again, the winner will move on to tomorrow, the loser will be out, and it's a rematch between Ghost and, of course, Copenhagen Flames. Now, I mentioned this is a rematch. Ghost actually fell to Copenhagen Flames a little bit earlier in the first match of this grouping. Method was able to take out the Flames to send them back in this position. So Ghost has one win in a game, but they have yet to win a match. So this is one they're going to be looking out for. They're going to want their revenge here.
I mean, if you want to talk about a European depth, Copenhagen Flames is a team that has been around the weekly scene for forever, consistently making top 8 finishes. They rarely advance past those top 8, but they get to that top 8 versus some of the toughest EU teams out there.
And again, experience. Experience comes to play for Europe. But Gregan has been on the Flames train since forever. He was like, they're going to day 2, until he saw this group. Once he saw Ghost was in this group, he's like, you know what? Maybe not. But now they got a chance. Beat him once. They got to beat him again. And that's what matters here. Ghost, questionable offseason moves. Like, I think Matt joining the roster is a great upgrade. But they decided to not play in the qualifiers at all. They just got DQ'd out because they were like, you know what? We don't need to play in this. So
we're going anyway.
Yeah, they haven't played in much. Not a lot of experience when it actually matters. Of course, scrims happen and all that, but we haven't seen them play when it actually matters. So maybe that hurt them in their first series. But now they got to come back, and now they know it's all on the line here. They don't want to just leave on day 1. They want to make it to day 2 and beyond. Yeah,
and we're about to take a look at the Ghost roster here. You mentioned that change, and you can't really have a conversation about Ghost without mentioning Lethamir. Of course, there you see Matt on your screen. He used to be on Rogue, and this was kind of this was an announcement that more or less happened when the rosters were submitted to DreamHack, and then I think it was more or less officialized as they were jumping on the plane to come to Leipzig. But there you see Lethamir in the middle of your screen. He has been an icon of the North American scene. A lot of people, when they're making their depth charts, all right, who's the best player in North America? Lethamir is near the top of a lot of those lists. So
same with Matt too.
Yeah, he's up there as well. So this team all around, Zane Jackie with plenty of live event experience. He used to be on Take 3 alongside Rizzo. So he's been on the stage before, and I bet he's going to do something goofy because he just loves the game and he loves being on stage, and he's always got something under you know, he's always got something ready to go to give someone a laugh. But right now it looks like he's a little bit serious. They understand the gravity of the situation. They win, they move on to day 2. They lose, they are out of the DreamHack Open.
So yesterday I had a 5-hour layover for a 1-hour flight. Wasn't that great, but I got to spend 3 hours with all of Ghost. So I got to talk with them a ton. They are extremely confident coming into this, and Lethamir said he loves playing with Matt. Matt is just like, you throw the ball up, Matt's going to score it. And he loves playing with Zane Jackie. There was some rumors going on that maybe Leth goes over to Rogue, instead, and then he leaves DreamHack. But Les like, no, I want DreamHack in my team. He's a rock on defense. He sets the ball perfectly to all of us. And that is what is so scary about this team. Having Lethamyr and Matt the freedom to do whatever they want on the offensive side. We saw last season, Leth kind of had to play back a bit. Classics is one of those crazier players where Leth's like, you know what, I have to kind of cool down and play back. So we didn't get to see his full potential. Now that they're just going to let Zane do that and have Leth and Matt up front, a very scary duo from North America. Yeah,
and I've seen plenty of Abogand and Bake on Copenhagen Flames. I've not actually seen a lot of Fruity, so I'm really curious to see how he plays, but I know Gregan is pretty big on those guys, so I'm really curious to hear his thoughts on that.
And we're about to get to Gregan, but first, guys, we got to do our predictions. And Chiefs, we'll start with you.
I've had all break to try and figure it out. I'll go on the EU depth chart. I think the Flames can do it again. Okay. I think the Flames can do it again.
And that's a good sign for the Flames because he's been right a lot today. So I'm going to go against him, which also probably helps the Flames. I'm going to go with Ghost here. I think Matt is one of the best players in North America, and I've hyped him since Season 1. I was like, he's a top 5 North American player. People called me crazy back then, but now it makes more sense. So I'm going to go with Matt, the brand new addition, the major upgrade I feel like on Ghost. Ghost will take it.
Yeah, I think this is so difficult. I feel like both these teams are super evenly matched, but I'm going to pick Ghost here. I feel like that first match was incredibly close between these two teams. And I feel like Ghost coming off of that loss, they have to have a conversation there. I feel like they're driven at this point where they drop down the lower. They don't want to be out of DreamHack Open without getting a single victory in a match. So I have Ghost here, but let's go on over to our commentators and get some input from them. Wavepunk and Gregan. Gregan, I guess we'll start with you. Achieves has been begging for your thoughts on Copenhagen Flames. So what do you think, guys?
I mean, Copenhagen Flames are not the only thing I'm a big fan of. I'm sitting right next to my biggest hero, Wavepunk, my co-casting soulmate. This has been a long time coming, but yes, Flames, they are going to do some incredible stuff, and I'm glad we get to see them play against Ghost.
Same.
So we're going to see. Okay. So we're going to see biased casting and also biased love.
I'm biased towards Ghost if it makes you feel better.
All right, sounds good.
We'll it out.
Well, guys, we'll let you take it away. I'm excited to get into this best of 3 between the Flames and Ghost. Wavepunk and Gregan, take it away, guys.
Thanks so much. Yeah, he alluded to this like 2 years ago about-ish. Yep. We casted once over Skype. And everyone in the Rocket League community said we were casting soulmates, and so began our long-term, long-distance romantic casting relationship.
Waiting for the day.
This is the first time I've sat next to you and casted Rocket League, though. So.
And I'm so happy to be here, and what a game it could be as well. North America versus Europe. Ghost coming into this, high expectations from them, and they are against an underdog. Flames, who like I said, they are going to do well in this tournament, and they have got a tough group to prove it in. Yes, Fruity, the keyboard and mouse player, he is going to be producing some beautiful touches and surrounded by Abogand and Bake, who are quality players. But Ghost, you couldn't ask for a better roster looking at North American switches.
Absolutely. A strong North American roster that just got stronger with the addition of Matt. So excited to see them perform here at the beginning of 2018, going up against an underdog roster that has already beat them today. Like, this is exactly the sort of matches we want to see here on day number 1. A great start there. What a shot from Matt as Ghost gets on the board.
The vision from Lethamyr to send that back into the middle, knowing that Matt was rotating out via the box, just able to get up before Abogand and Fruity, and that puts Ghost in the lead early. But this is a bit of a grudge match for them. They probably weren't expecting to get so much competition from the lower seed in their group this early on in the tournament.
You know, we're about like 100 feet from the crowd and from the stage, and I think I can still hear Matt's mom cheering when he scored that goal. This one's also going to go in here. Just a long shot from midfield that rolled all the way down. 2-0 for Ghost now.
Yeah, and that's a nervy bit of defense there. Lethamyr finding it the whole way, and Bake had plenty of time to go up for that, but found himself a little bit too far forward. Believed he could get up, perhaps over-expecting of the requirement of himself. He didn't need to go up so fast.
And now 4:28 left on the clock. Just barely out of the first 30 seconds. Ghost already with 2 goals. The Flames looking to respond now. Set up in the corner. Shooter already airborne off the backboard in third. Nowhere to be found. Looks like he was probably a bit wide. Now the counterattack here. Matt up onto the backboard. Good clear from Fruity. Zane Jackie up onto the backboard. Abe's there. Put it back down. Ball hang out at midfield for a bit. Lethamyr with the setup. Been some good defense here from the Flames, not allowing 2 consecutive touches from Ghost, intercepting everything, redirecting everything to block any pre-jump shooters.
And you got to feel for Copenhagen Flames in this matchup because they're playing against a very experienced lineup. And for them, this is probably the biggest stage they've played on. So they're going to be a little bit nervous. And perhaps that will come out as we saw in the early stages with those 2 goals. But as they settle in, we might see a similar storyline to London esports earlier on, taking out Envy, where as they settle down, they start scoring more. And then the pressure is then all on Ghost because they're the ones who are expected to win.
Yeah. You see the demo on Lethamyr there was way up in the enemy corner, which put him actually very conveniently back on defense. He's kept his ball around midfield as the ball will end up now in the Flames corner. Looking for the 2-touch clear, they only find 1. But Ghost gives space. A 2-touch pass here, up onto the backboard, cleared by Fruity. Now another demo for the Ghost players. Opens up a little bit of space, but no immediate attack. At 50-51 out here by the Flames, they'll be able to move this one down. Try to take a shot, but blocked in midair. Ghost defense holding on here as we're approaching halftime. Still up 2-0.
Yeah, I think the defense has improved from Copenhagen Flames, but that early 2-goal deficit is definitely going to put them in a horrible situation where they might have to start going too aggressive. And no one ever wants to overcommit because then you're worried about conceding that goal. But Ghost can just relax, just make sure they maintain pressure, don't have to try and do anything too risky.
Matt gets it past 1, tries to fake out a second, but it's not there. Able an opportunity to set up his teammates, crosses the goal here. It hits the crossbar on the shot, and Fruity doesn't have the second follow-up. Still having to play some defense here, looking to pinch it out of their own corner. Doesn't really work. 2 players commit on the offense for Flames, and the third was way far back. So there was nobody immediately to try and take a shot on net. This one lofted towards the goal. Lethamyr with a clear, still looking to play it out of his own half. Some pressure from the Flames has been mounting. Zane into the corner.
Slow-paced game. There's not really much going on in the middle. Just the ball is being lofted just generically into the middle, and all of the players on the pitch don't want to go forward and try and do anything too dangerous, because obviously Ghost, they don't want to try and overcommit, and then Flames are scared because if they start pushing forward and giving away that ball easily to Ghost, then they've been looking bad on the counter-attack, and that's a stage you don't want to be at. With 1 minute on the clock, you really need to start trying to find a goal because 3-0, 4-0 is no different.
Ghost is happy to just burn time off the clock right now, and you can tell him this is the experience of this lineup, recognizing early we can just play the clear game. We don't have to attack anymore. You'll see, 2 of them up here on offense, but then Zane Jackie, always their consistent third, sitting in the back, just holding down that back line, making sure nothing goes in. A nice save there to send it off to the side. Abe looking to connect with Bakey, gets it around some of the defense, but Fruity tries to move over. Get it up high again, but Lethamyr's there. 30 seconds left here on the clock. Flames still looking for that first goal. As they kind of fall back, Zane will just continue just to loft it. They just can play keep away at this point, and they'll win game number 1.
Yeah, it's a pretty scrappy game to start it off, but I think Ghost are playing differently now to how they did earlier on because they know that this is worth more. Perhaps that first game they knew that the chances are they'll meet again with Method in their group. So perhaps they're a bit more relaxed, using it as a warm-up, whereas now this is the important match. This is whether you get to game 2 or not, and Ghost have shown they've got what it takes to move on to day 2, but it's only 1 game. It's a best of 3. They need to get another win.
Gotta get another one here. Ghost will take game number 1. Here in these lower finals, as you said, loser goes home. They're done in day number 1. Ghost getting the first of the 2 they need to make that happen and send them on to day 2. We'll see if they can do it here, finish off Copenhagen Flames. They've already done it once today, but the last time we had a team on stage, we had Envy went up against London, who they had 2-0'd earlier that day. Envy won game number 1. And then we saw the reverse sweep from London. So, can Copenhagen Flames do the same thing? Might have it happen twice today.
Yeah, I think definitely those 2 goals completely changed the dynamic of that game. If you concede early, it makes it very tough to put pressure on enough that you can go back into the game. But this is one of those situations where it's Ghost have got everything to lose. Copenhagen Flames come into this as a European team that has been hovering around the scene, never really pushed out to the top. They've always come close to getting into RLCS or rival series, but just never quite pushing into those top 8s.
And it's very interesting in this situation with the rematch situation is that the Ghosts have nothing to gain, per se, from this match. Like, they get to go into day 2, but they already expected to make it to day 2. So the team is very confident in themselves. They're consistently top 8 in North America. They fully expect themselves to be able to make it through an open qualifier scenario and make it into the second day of a 3-day tournament. And to beat a team you've already beaten that day, at the end you're going to be able to say, yeah, we got to where we were expected, beating a team we had already beaten. So there's not a lot on the table for Ghost, and so the mental game's definitely going to be in Copenhagen Flames' favor. It'll kind of come down to, for me, the first half of this game. If they can keep it within one goal, keep it competitive, Flames definitely has a chance of making this a 3-game series.
Yeah, and what will happen commonly at these kind of events is teams like Copenhagen Flames get underestimated how good they can be. And so when they played them earlier on, they found out that they were a quality team, and now they're upping their game in preparation for that, because you do think you're going in a lower gear on that first day. You don't feel like you're going to have to push yourself because there's that safety net of 2 qualifiers. But anyway, we are now in game 2. Let's see if Flames can start off a little bit more in control than they did last game where they conceded 2 early on.
Yeah, well, the 2 goals we saw scored were very early on in game number 1. So they can just slow down the pace of Ghost. A very different ball game on our hands, but a great goal. Lethamyr,
so good.
The 1v1 situation, takes it into his own hands and gets Ghost that lead.
Just see here, looks like he's going for a flip reset. Fruity goes up early, but no, instead he just tilts the car up at the last moment to give it a little bit more elevation and tip it on into the net. Lethamyr knows how to outplay people, and he's just showcased it there.
He's a great 1v1 player as well. He's been a good 3v3 captain here. And a great setup there. This one, the miss from Matt. A rare miss. You heard him talking about it on the desk. That was Lethamyr's favorite part about Matt. You just give him the ball and he just score, and that was an open one. Uncharacteristic miss there. So Lethamyr through the air to try and do it by himself again. Abe says not today and shuts the door.
We saw Zane Jackie get a demo on the goal line. I think that's something Zane Jackie does a lot, is he things off the ball, boost starving, getting those demos, just setting up a bit of space for his teammates. And now with both Lethamyr and Matt, the ones being able to use that space, it's definitely a strong roster if they're playing well, and this could be a chance. Wow.
Good demolition from the back, and this opens up the goal. Fruity should be able to put this one through, and he does. Tie game here, Flames keeping it competitive.
Yeah, 2 demos at the exact same time. I think the final player and the one hitting the ball both got down. You don't see that very often. They both spawn on the same tide.
They spawn in the same corner.
Yeah, Fruity had a free net there, but that levels the score. A little bit unorthodox in the way they did it, but just as effective to get a demo goal.
Absolutely. We're tied up at 1 goal apiece. I'll see Flames looking for their first lead in the series here. They'll take a nice shot, but Lethamyr will have the save. Bake trying to wrap it back around. Matt playing some defense. He's looking for that corner boost. Might stall him on the rotation a little bit, but a good clear from his teammates. It won't matter. Lethamyr's up, takes the shot towards the net. It might still go in. It does, despite the best efforts from Flame. Ghost has the lead.
Yeah, just a missed touch from Fruity, causes that to bounce off the ball back into the middle, and I like that aggression from Lethamyr, just recognizing a chance. He shouldn't have scored that, but it's still worth a try, and he does try it, and it goes in with just a slight difference in that save. He might have been able to get that away, but Lethamyr using that opportunity wisely.
And Lethamyr's accuracy has been on point this series, but Fruity is matching him goal for goal this game. We're still tied up.
Just popping that into the middle, knows Fruity's to the right of him, just gets around that ball, and look at that control in the air. A reminder that Fruity is using keyboard and mouse. We didn't think that kind of thing would be possible when people started just using controllers.
It's become more and more of a thing. These great players, we saw Yukio earlier for Flipside, also keyboard mouse player. Torsas over in the OCE region, as good as anybody I've ever seen. It's kind of like it just matters what you practice on.
Exactly.
You know?
It's at the stage where they're both equal, it's just that there's more people playing controller.
Yep. Now here at halftime, still a tie game. Flames doing a great job keeping themselves alive here at DreamHack. Forcing Ghost to at least score 1 more goal if they want to put the nail in this coffin.
Double commit?
Yes, double commitment there on the defense. So a good 50-50. Follow up. Easily spaced out. Where is the last line of defense? Zane was expecting a better clear there and had already started to move out of the defensive positioning. That's kind of an open net. The Flames more and more ball control in this matchup. We saw match number 1. Ghost got their comfortable lead and then just opted for the punt game, just opted to keep the ball moving around, not let anyone to really gain it. But right now, Flames doing a great job not only controlling the ball, but getting demolitions in enemy territory, forcing those momentary power plays.
A lot of demolitions here. Oh, the pre-jump shot attempt, knowing that his teammate was going to try and find him in the middle. One thing I love about Flames in these weekly competitions online is they just create highlight plays. We see them all the time, and they do some really creative things, and that's when they become dangerous. Just there, a pre-jump, something you don't expect.
Fake onto the backboard. Abe's up. Clear comes through from Lethmere. Abe again looking to loft. Both teammates on offense falling back, but no challenge from Ghost. Bay can be able to put this one onto the backboard himself. And a bit of a midfield rotation starting to form here for Flames. Finally broken there by Ghost. They're able to get it onto the backboard. The final minute of game number 1, still anybody's ball game. As the passes into the middle come through, and a nice shot there actually on what looked like it was going to be a difficult angle to work with, but Lethmere again, this man shooting, that one nearly on target on what was an absurd shot attempt.
Yeah, that's not an angle you should be shooting from. That's the kind of place where you go, where's my teammate? Where can I pass to them? But no, Lethmere powerfully hits it towards the net. And that's why you've always got to have someone rotating back to goal, because in this current era of Rocket League, people can shoot from anywhere, and you just never know what's going to come in. Lethmere proving that fact.
And the last goal he scored and the shot he just made have all had goalies in net. As it's become a little bit clear, I think that Lethmere is doing a lot of solo work here in game number 2, and this is going to be an easy read on the side of Flames. So they can recognize that Lethmere is the primary target they need to defend against for the moment. As this timer's counting down, we might have another overtime. This is following very similar to the story from London versus Envy earlier.
Unless Lethmere can go now.
He could try to do this all himself. He's got a teammate to work with. Man, if Matt had just gotten underneath and just been the ground that wouldn't reset the timer, that would have been nuts.
So earlier on, Envy versus London, we saw Envy dominate first game. Second game went to overtime, and London came out on top, the underdogs. Will that happen here? Will we see a parallel storyline?
I was ready for Zane Jackie just to dribble the whole team while you were telling that story. It didn't quite happen, but at this point, still on course. Can the Copenhagen Flames do it? This goal is going in, puts it through. The goal happens in overtime. Only took them 24 seconds, but we're going to game 3.
Look how clean he hit that ball, flying up from his own half, sent it the length of the pitch. No one back ready to defend it, and you saw how much that meant to this Copenhagen Flames team. This is their chance to prove themselves. Fruity, he gave a huge fist bump of joy as that goal went in. They're pumped for this last game. That's what happened to London. That's exactly the same.
And did you see, look at the faces right now on Ghost. These guys are like concerned. They know they shouldn't be having to play this third game. They should be done with this match that means so little to them. This is a frustrating thing to have to do, to have to keep playing Rocket League. And so, again, it's going to come down to the beginning, the first half of this game. If Flames keeps it competitive in that first half of the game, this is going to be so scary for Ghost. They need that early lead to get that confidence that they can just finish it off.
So, while we wait for the next game, let me tell you a fun fact about Abogand.
Oh, please do.
So the name, I always used to think it was Abogand, but then I spoke to him about it, and it turns out it is a direct translation to monkey and duck.
In which language?
In Danish. They're all from Denmark.
Monkey and duck.
So Abe is a monkey. Og is and then and is duck.
Why not just like make and, you know?
I mean, you'd think that, but duck is and og is and.
There's my American for the day. Why, if you're writing a new language, wouldn't you just make and, you know? Why make up a new word for and then use and for something else?
I wonder what fruity means.
Oh, hopefully it just means fruit-like, but that, yeah. Interesting. I wonder why monkey and duck, you know?
I think it was just a bit of fun, but we are now going into the deciding game. Who's going home, Ghost or Copenhagen Flames?
All comes down to this, a best of 1 to move on to day 2, and a miss there from Lethmere. It might have been the tactical miss. Can it go through? Finally, Zane Jackie puts it in. 3 players tried. Zane Jackie comes up with the goal.
Lethmere just trying to guide that one towards the net on the way back. Fruity expecting him to do so, and there was a few misreads of shots. And it was all such slow-paced gameplay that when Zane Jackie came barreling in, powered it towards the net, it was always destined to be a goal.
Now, that one is very important. Can they get a second one here quickly again? So we've seen Ghost score the first goal every game so far. Didn't make a difference there.
Backboard touch.
Nice setup there by Bay. Can he drop this one? Oh, it doesn't. It comes and it bounces back out. Now the counterattack. Lethmere descending down the field. Fruity's there, but what a read by Leth. We'll send it back across the field. Matt's there as well. Puts onto the backboard. Now ZaneJackie airborne. Full team play here. The goalie misses, but so does ZaneJackie. They'll stay at the 1-goal lead. Here comes more pressure, and Matt misses the second setup from Lethamyr. Blazing fast offense here. Not a lot of time to get your reads in, but still, they need that second goal so badly right now.
It's just a safety net, isn't it? We want to always be a few goals up because 1 goal is never decisive.
Not at all, especially with the way the last game went. There's solid pressure here from Ghost. The Flames holding on and benefiting from a few missed shots. Abe with a loft in front of his own net. Zane looks for the read, and he'll just loft this one for Lethamyr. Airborne's been the best shooter on the team so far. Off the backboard, here comes Matt. Not going to happen. Fruity was there first. Bake's got the tackle into the corner. Now lofted in front of the net. ZaneJackie's up first. Abe didn't like what he saw. He'll hang back and wait for the read. Matt back down the field. Into the blue corner. A fake from Bake. Be able to push out Fake and Bake. Man, I'm sorry, I just had to say that. That's just
And he
funny.
did take it past too, though.
I'm going to be thinking about that joke for a long time. It's not even a good one. It's just funny to me. 3:10 left on the clock.
That's a shot.
And blocked well. Flames defense at the goal line has been very good this game, I say, as Matt finally shoots on an open net. Can't have good goal line defense if you don't have a goalie.
Yeah, in that situation, Abe just thinks he can fly out. He's got more space, but Matt met that early and sent it towards the goal, which was empty because Abe chased out, just not expecting to see someone shoot from that kind of angle. I think one of the parallels we draw between North American teams, I should say parallels, they're opposites. North American teams like to aerial more, whereas we see European teams with a more grounded game, and I think that's where Flames were not expecting that. They just didn't see the aerial potential of that shot.
And Ghost now with a 2-goal lead here approaching halftime. This is the sort of lead that can make them feel comfortable, get back into their groove, stop thinking about the MV London match they heard about or watched earlier, and just play some Rocket League, secure this one. But you know, Flames, they still believe this is possible.
You've got to.
There's no reason not to think that.
Last time Ghost went 2 goals up, though, it did very much look in their favor because they had so much control in defense, it just didn't look possible to score. Will that be the case now, or are Flames going to find a route to goal?
Man, Bake and Abigand on the same page there. Brilliant offensive pressure. Look for the pass, look for the goalies, but they needed all 3 players to make that play work. They didn't have anybody to shoot on the net. 1:57 left to go, and it's still Ghost with all the points. And past 1, back into the blue again. Now midfield pressure going to start to build for Ghost. So Lethamyr putting it into the corner. ZaneJackie hanging in the back. Wait for this touch, go up for the read. Now let Abe again take that one uncontested. So one off to the side, right towards Matt. This is where Ghost shined in game number 1, just putting pressure on at midfield, just not necessarily going for aggressive shots, but not allowing Flames to gain ball control. This one's so close, off the crossbar, his teammates got him. Bake puts it in, it's a 1-goal game.
Just see this tip and bash. You can see Fruity pop it up to himself, flicks it over the incoming Lethamyr, and the 2 goal line defenders are hesitant to go for that ball because they think, oh, it's backboard. Do I need to save it? Do I need to tip it away? And that is when Bake came in and found the goal. But now it's a 1-goal difference. It's a very different scenario. 1
goal differentiating them. This is what they couldn't do in game number 1. Get that first goal, make it a 1-goal game. You can play into 0-second time. It's not over till the ball touches the ground now. And they still got a minute to work with here. Now through the air, gets the Goomba stomp. Oh, but his teammate wasn't there to finish it off. That was a brilliant setup.
That's an overcommitment. There's an empty net now, surely.
Lethamyr to Matt here. No, Fruity was in the back. Now Abe again looking.
That's a dunk. That's going in.
I don't think. It's off the post. It was just a bit wide. Nearly pulling this off. And how demoralizing would it be to have built your 2-goal lead for Ghost and then have Flames tear it back down?
That's dangerous as well.
Nearly just mentally secure the game here. 35 seconds left. 1 goalie right now in the form of Lethamyr. Can he get there in time? He does. A brilliant defensive play. The whole net to shoot at, and he didn't shoot straight at the goalie. He chose his spot carefully. Lethamyr was there. Now underneath 1, past the other. Goalies come through and cleared away. Nice transition here from Flames with 15 seconds left. A good read from ZaneJackie over to the side. Good positioning from Abigand. So look here for Bake, looking for Fruity. The Final countdown, 7 seconds left, only 1 goal differentiating them. They have to get this clear, though. They need to boom this out of here and have the position to keep it airborne, because right now it's going to slam down. Ghost Gaming secure it, a close one, but they can breathe a sigh of relief. They've made it to day 2.
We said there was going to be upsets in this competition. London, the only one so far who've been able to do it. We saw Advanced Gaming earlier on, 1 goal away from taking Flipside out of the competition, and Flames are almost done the same, but it's 1 goal the difference. This is a beautiful sign of European talent. The ones who are not appearing in the big competitions are now showing why it's such a stacked region.
Absolutely. Brilliant performance there. So close to giving us a second overtime there at the end. What a performance that would have been. But guys, so much great Rocket League happening here today, and I love that we get to see these sorts of teams. We get to see the EU depth versus the top 8 of NA, and just showing the way that these regions stack up against each other.
Yeah, and we got to see that Ghost Gaming roster for the first time, I believe. We haven't seen them with Matt play in a big competition, so they're definitely going to feel like they want to develop from there, but that's very common amongst new rosters. You need to try it out for a bit and get used to each other. But some good signs for them, good goal-scoring opportunities, and as always, Zane Jackie great at the back. But they need to step it up if they want to compete in the rest of this DreamHack, which is stacked.
Absolutely. It's been a great tournament. We've got a lot more great Rocket League action, not just tomorrow, but today we still have plenty of Rocket League action, so don't go anywhere. It's been great casting with my babe here.
Oh, you too.
And now we're going to go back to the desk and hear what they've got to say.
Thank you, Wavepunk and Greg, and what a match there. So close until the very end. Even when Ghost was up 2-0 in the last game, the Flames score a goal, and you're like, uh-oh, what's happening here? But Ghost able to hold on, and they push through to tomorrow. And they had to do it the second time around.
And that was not easy for them either.
Yeah.
Flames were playing extremely well throughout the midfield. Just came down to sometimes scoring opportunities where the Flames just barely missed. And that's usually the difference between like the top caliber of teams and those bubble players, where you have to make the most of those opportunities. Flames just missed out on a few of them.
Yeah, that's really it to a T. That first game, in terms of Flames were definitely outpaced a little bit in that first game. It took them that maybe about halfway through that first game to really start figuring out how fast Ghost was going. Game number 2, they kept that pace up. They were able to beat them in overtime. And then game number 3, Ghost picked it up just 1 more notch, and then they had to adjust to that as well, and there just wasn't enough time left.
Yeah, able to do it in the rematch. We have a player from Ghost standing by, the newest member of Team Ghost. It's Matt. Matt, congrats on your victory. I want to talk to you about that first match against Copenhagen Flames where you guys lost, and then what was kind of going through your minds there as you're going into that next match where you have to win? What adjustments did you have to make?
I think we all just had to calm down and think about, because Copenhagen Flames, we really underestimated them, I think, in the first series that we played against them, because they came out super strong and they were a great team. And after we lost, we kind of just huddled together and thought like, hey, what do we need to do? These guys are actually good. We need to respect them and play our best. And I think we were able to bounce back pretty well.
So Matt, like, one thing I love about the Rocket League community is family support. And your mom comes to almost every single event, one of the MVP moms of Rocket League. So any shout outs to your mom, or you want to show her like any love here?
I guess shout outs to my mom. Follow her at Mama Matt, I think. If I got it wrong, she's going to be mad.
Yeah, so you guys definitely looked really good. You move on into day number 2. Gibbs, help me out. Who do they play tomorrow?
Let's see. You guys have PSG, Equinox, and London.
Ooh, so a pretty decent group. Which one are you more afraid of, PSG or Equinox or London? You could very well be afraid of London.
You know, I think just in terms of results, I'm more afraid of PSG because they've got Bluey, who's just insane, and then Farah and Chaussette, who are just equally great. But I think that London and Equinox, we haven't played Equinox much, and I don't know anything really about London. I feel like since they beat Envy, they've got to be a force to be reckoned with, so I don't want to underestimate anyone, really.
I think that's a key from this event. Just don't underestimate your opponent. Matt, I'm sure no one's going to underestimate you guys. Congratulations on your victory today, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, that's Matt from Team Ghost. They're advancing into day 2 of the DreamHack Open. Let's go ahead and jump into the highlights from that matchup against the Copenhagen Flames. Again, this is a rematch. They had to change everything around a little bit to come back and take out the Flames.
And again, this is that game 1 speed.
What a goal there.
Ghost in that first half was really all over the Flames side of the pitch. They just could not break out of their own half. And then Leth, of course, this is a great play shot right behind the defender. And the Flames really needed a few moments to get themselves up to speed in that game, and
And
this is
that's
at overtime.
one of the things Flames kept doing. They kept giving Lethemir just a little bit too much space where he could pop it up and then do a weird second touch that would confuse the Flames. But the Flames came back scoring that overtime winner, and we thought, hey, it happened before with London Esports. Can it happen again? But no, Matt comes in with a crucial goal here and another early 2-goal lead, and the Flames could not bounce back. Right here is a great save by Lethemir, great
This
patience.
was a huge
Yeah.
save.
Yeah, just trying to read exactly where that shot is going. And obviously, shot placement was a little bit too much in the middle, and that is the difference. And that's
Yep.
why Ghost is moving on to day 2, and the Flames are going home.
Yeah, and what a performance from Ghost, making the comeback happen and keeping themselves sound mentally. Can they carry through that momentum into tomorrow? We're going to find out. We have 3 more matches left on the day, and they are all elimination matches. 3 teams will advance on tomorrow, and 3 teams will be out. Coming up next, we have Splice going up against Veritas on the main stage as the DreamHack Open continues here from Leipzig, Germany. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.